Hi everyone, this video is just a few quick reminders of how to get into and navigate your Google Classroom. We've just had a few people struggling with that from home, so if you watch and take notes, you should be able to get everything done that you need to for your home learning. So the first thing you need to do is to make sure that you can get access to your Google Classroom for school. You need to make sure that you are on your Google account for school and no other account. So if you just click on this icon at the top of your browser, ideally you should be using a Google Chrome browser. So if you don't have that installed on your device, you can install it for free from the App Store or the Play Store, whatever it is that your device uses. You can then just check which account is logged in on that browser. Now, if you have personal accounts logged in, they can cause some issues with accessing your Google Classroom and your Google resources for school. So you do need to make sure that you sign out of any accounts, any personal accounts, whether they're yours or any other family members, and then just make sure that you are logged on with your school email accounts there. Once you've checked that, then on your Google browser, just go to the school website. So go to Co-op Walkden, click on the home page, and then you need to then go and find the link to the student dashboard. So if you click on menu and just scroll down under where it says students, down to student dashboard, and click on there. And then just scroll down the page a little bit, you'll see that there's a link for you that should take you directly to the student dashboard. And from here, you've got access to your email, your Google Drive, your classroom, and any of the links to docs or anything like that. Most of what you need to do for your home learning, you should be able to access through your Google Classroom alone. So if you just click on that tab and then just wait for that Google Classroom to open. And the first page you'll come to is your landing page that has all of your different classes on. Now, it's really important from here that you go into the right class. I've experienced it with some of my classes where they've got a little bit confused over the class codes that are used. Now, you'll notice all of mine have CG. So CG stands for computing, but you'll have EN for English, MA for maths. But there are a few that are quite similar. So a lot of my students previously have got confused by CP for core PE and gone into that instead of CG, and then said that the work's not there. So it's really important that you find the correct class. GG is another one that gets confusing because people go into that for geography and not computing. So just make sure that you have selected the correct class code. Some of your teachers may have already added a little prompt underneath to tell you which subject it is. So you can see on these, I've put on there whether it's Key Stage 3 computing or whether we've got GCSE computing, for example. So hopefully that will help you, or they may have changed the image to help you to identify which subject that classroom relates to. So there may be a few prompts on there, but that class code, just make sure that that one is the same one as the timetabled lesson that you have on your normal timetable. Okay, so once you've had a go at finding your correct class, and I'm just going to go into this class, to access the class, you just click on the name. So I'm just going to click on there. You can see it underlines when I hover over it. And that's my classroom that I need to work on at this moment. So there's a few things on here, a few features we need to know about. The first one that you need to go into every morning is your live registration with your form tutor. So to do that, you'll notice when you go to your classroom, and I believe you're using your PSHE classrooms for this purpose, unless your form tutor tells you otherwise, and they have set up a form group for you. So either find your PSHE class or your form group class that's been set up, and then just under the class subject name here, you can see there's a Meet link. And as you hover over it again, the icon will change from a cursor, so the arrow, to the hand, and that means that that's a link that you can click on. So when you click on that link, just give it a minute just to open. This will take you into the live session that you can then do your live registration through. As you go in, just remember to turn off your camera. So we turn off the camera and make sure that that is highlighted in red. You'll see the line go through the camera icon. You should also be turning off your microphone unless your teacher, your form tutor has told you otherwise. So we turn off our microphone and then click on the Join Now button. Okay, and once you've clicked on the Join Now button, that will take you into your live registration. Once your live registration is over and your teacher dismisses you, you can then just close down that tab. So there will be a button at the bottom that you can just click to put down the call, and then just close down that tab, and then you're out of that meeting. Next, you'll need to know how to access your work for your lessons. So again, you will always land on this page when you open your Google Classroom. This is called the Classroom Stream. Now, the Classroom Stream is just a list of items that have been posted to that classroom over time, and it's in chronological order. So that means that it's in date order and time order, and the most recent one will always be at the top of the stream. So you don't need to scroll down, you just need to look at the top of the stream. This is really useful for finding your most up-to-date lessons, so the lesson that's been posted, say, today for you. So you can see, for example, I've had a lesson posted there for me to do. Or if your teacher has put a class comment on, or maybe some class feedback, that will appear here on your class stream. Now, there is another tab as well, which is your classwork tab. Now, if I click on that, your classwork tab has all of your lessons that have been uploaded, and you can see there that I've got that lesson uploaded, and I can click on it from there. Okay, if I click on it through the classwork tab, I need to click the View Assignment tab to make that lesson available for me to work through. Okay, if you click on that from the Classroom Stream, it will automatically go straight into the live lesson. So you can see that you've got access to all of the documents that you need there. The difference being between the stream and the classwork tab is that this will be more organised, and it will be split into maybe your subjects or your units. So where classes have been using this for a number of weeks already, if I just show you one of our other classes and I go onto the classwork tab, you can see that this is organised into subject areas or units of work, and the teacher can organise this a little bit better. So if you're trying to find a specific piece of work or maybe an earlier lesson, then the classwork tab is a really useful place to come and find that. And you've also got that menu down the left-hand side, and you can click on any of these and it will take you directly to that section. Okay, so let's go back to today's lesson. So I'm going to go back onto my classroom I was on previously. And when I open the lesson, you'll notice that the screen is split into sections. So we've got here the title of the lesson. There will be instructions if the teacher's left you any instructions, and any resources that you need to look at for that lesson. Now, if I click on that resource on that side, this presentation, this Google Slides, is just for me to read. It's view only, so you won't be able to edit this one. This is just your instructions. So you've got the topic of the lesson, you've got your learning goals, and you've got your do now task. The next slide, we've got our main task for the lesson. So as I say, this is just for you to read through, just information for your lesson. It might have some links to videos or anything like that. Okay, let's go back into our classroom and our lesson. Over in the middle section here, you'll see that you've got your due date. So that tells you when your teacher's expecting that in. Now, there may be a due date there, or there may not, so it may be an open, so you might be working on this for a number of lessons. But if you have a due date and time on there, then try and make sure you get that work done for that due date and time. If you can't for any reason, you can always use the private comment section to send your teacher a message just to say if there's an issue with you getting that work done by that time, and let them know when you will get it done by. Okay, so just over the private comment section, you'll see that there is a Your Work section. This has the documents that your teachers previously uploaded for you to work on. They're personal to you and you can edit them. So this one's got my name on, so I know that that's mine. I can click on it. And as I click on it, it opens the document, and there should be further instructions for you so that you know what you need to do with that task. So in this case, it says type my answers into the blue boxes. And if I click on the blue boxes, they will allow me to type into the box. Okay, once I've completed the work, I don't need to remember to save it because we're working on Google Docs or Google Slides. It automatically saves, and you can see there that it tells me when it was last edited and when it was last saved. So all I need to do is close down that tab, and that document has been saved. In order to tell my teacher that I have completed the work, I need to click the Hand In button. However, there may be occasions where you need to add extra resources to the lesson or extra work that you've done. So it might be that you've done some work on paper and you've taken a picture of it and you want to upload that onto the lesson for the teacher. So you're going to use this Add or Create button. So we can click the Add or Create button, and you can go to your Google Drive. So if it's a document that you've saved in your Google Drive, then click on Google Drive and it will take you to your window there for you to upload your documents. You can add a link. So it might be that your teacher's asked you to find a website that would be useful for your particular topic that you're studying at the moment. So if you click on the link, you copy the URL from the top of your web browser and then paste it using Control-V into the link section. Or it might be that you've got a file. So for example, like I say, a photograph that you've taken that you've got on your computer. So if you click on File, and then you can either drag or browse for it. So if you click on the Browse button, it should take you to your Explorer or your Files options, and you can select the image that you need for your teacher. And then if you click the Open, then that will add that to your Google Classroom. So if I just click on there now, and you can see that it's added that image onto my Google Classroom. So I've now added extra work there for my teacher to see. The other thing that you can use with the Add or Create button is you can create new documents or slides or Google Sheets. So if your teacher's asked you to put your work onto a Word document or a Google Doc, then just click on Doc. It will create a blank document for you. So there I've got a blank document, and I can then use that to work on to submit my work. So if I just click on there, and there's my blank document I can type my answers onto or do the work that the teacher's asked me to do. Again, once you've completed the work, click the X to close down that document, and then that document's there ready for your teacher to see. When you've done all of that, if you click the Hand In button, that will tell your teacher that you've completed that lesson and it's ready for marking. So if I click on Hand In, it tells me what documents I'm handing in for my teacher. And then that lesson has now been completed. Now, whilst that lesson has been submitted, I cannot access or I cannot edit any of those documents. If I try and go into the document, you'll see that it says View Only, and that's because I've submitted it for my teacher to mark and to review. If I want to edit it, so if there's something I've forgotten to do and I realise that I need to add something to it before the teacher marks it, then I need to come back to my lesson and I need to click Unsubmit. And when I click Unsubmit, that will make that lesson live again, so that I can then just click on the document, and you'll notice that view only button's gone, and I can now edit the document again. So if you do find that you're trying to edit something and it's not allowing you to, it's likely that you've submitted or handed in the lesson, and you just need to go and unsubmit. Don't forget, once you have completed your amendment or your update, just click the hand in button again, just so that your teacher knows that you've finished with all of that work. Okay. And then finally, if your teacher has added some feedback for your work, then you have this area at the bottom of your screen here that will have any class feedback, so whole class feedback for that particular lesson. Or you might see some private feedback that your teacher has given just to you individually. And again, that will be on this page. And you can respond by sending either a private comment back to your teacher, or if you're responding to the class comments, you might want to put it in the class stream so that everybody can see that in the class stream as well. Hopefully that's helped you to understand a little bit more about how to get around your Google Classroom and to make sure that you can complete your home learning effectively. If you do have any other queries or concerns, please make sure that you do ask your teachers, or you ask in your live form session in the morning.